Hello my friends and welcome to another episode of Inside Out Electronics. This is part 3 of my attempt to restore this Sony TC-K5 tape deck. This is pretty ancient tape deck and there are part 2 and part 1. You can take a look and see what the heck I'm really doing here. So, I kind of skipped the whole process of disassembly. Now I have all this tape mechanism pulled out because I want to install one of those belts you see over here on the background. So I ordered proper belts, but turned out to be, for some reason, they did not arrive. That's a whole different story. But just as a backup or as a second chance, I ordered a whole bunch of these Chinesium. This is the kind of brand. So this is kind of longer, this one shorter or something to this extent, and this is the brand. Yeah. So today we will try to install this belt, and based on our success or not, we're gonna try to install the belt and then try to actually set this deck up, like speed levels and things like that, and to see how good it plays. I already cleaned up contacts as I mentioned in previous video, and seems to be this resolve some of the issues. So now let's try to, it's not gonna help me, I need flat. Let's try to pull this plate which holds the capstan, flywheel, solenoid, and ultimately restricts our belt installation. Okay, have to be very careful with these jaws. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm good. I'm not gonna pull it more than that. Alright, so it's kind of awkward here. Oh, in order to remove that belt, I have to remove this belt, counter or reel or whatever heck this belt is. This is actually another Chinesium belt, and it's still kind of, after like several months of poking and picking, still okay. So first I want to remove this sort of belt and see which of those belts, yeah, there's some kind of oil residue or lubricant residue, which kind of belt will work. So, and first of all, I already see that those ones are a little bit thicker, but not as thick as the originals, as the ones I tried originally, which were like almost 6mm thick. This one is thinner. This is supposed to be 4mm ones, but clearly they are 4mm, and they are all mangled. They are just not nice and straight. Okay, I'm gonna just do it here. And clearly this one is, it's not easy. This is not. This is not. That's kind of annoying part of all that, because you have to like pick every single belt and measure. Okay, this one. Seems to be the right-ish. Because what I want to do, I want to have it a little bit shorter, right? Because this one is stretched. So the difference is, as you see, is not that big. Oh shit, it's really hard to see here. Difference is not that big. Okay, so here's the difference. Okay, yeah. That's a bit of a difference. Maybe it's too much. But let me try. I'm gonna try. But it's the only annoying thing that this guy is really mangled. So it's gonna be hard to put it properly, because it doesn't really keep the shape of the belt. It's just like a mess. That's the downside of all those Chinesium. Okay. Well, it's kind of funny. We all always complain about quality of China, but we still keep buying it. So yeah, maybe it's our fault. Maybe. It's not really easy to perform such operation in this kind of environment. Is it really on? Okay, this belt seems to be... I think this belt is kind of crooked. Yeah, we can give it a go. Oops, oh, I was afraid of this. Oh, solenoid rod is falling down. Come here. Bastard. It's very annoying. Okay, operation, but it's not too bad. It's very easy to put in. So I'm happy because I know some decks, for example, Harman Kardon deck is really pain in the ass to work on. This one is still okay. Well, the fancy one, okay, CD491 or CD401, that has very complicated mechanism. This one is a blessing in comparison. Okay, this screwdriver. Alright, that's another one. Still holding. This is supposed to be cable retention thing. Okay, what happened here? It's supposed to go. Wow, these things are so pain in the ass to work with. I'm so dreaming about like direct drive deck when there is no belts and motors are brushless or computer controlled. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, I'll try to put this thing back on. These procedures are really annoying. You have to do careful maneuvering to make sure you're not gonna rip any wires and things like that. Okay, this and bend and break things. Make sure also that everything gonna be placed in where it exactly supposed to be. Whew. Okay. There is also that over there. In this corner there is this records and playback switch, so make sure that is engaged, otherwise it's gonna be very, yes, like that, engaged. So when you press your record button, I don't know if you see that, it's really hard to see, it's actually engages those switches down there. Alrighty, okay. So seems to be okay. Let's just power this thing up and see. And see, we have handy. I don't know, don't really need it per se, but power meter, I meant to say. Of course, not gonna play anything without cassette. And power, of course. Okay, let me find the cassette for you. Alright, okay, so I didn't screw it in, I put all tape mechanism together, and I would like to use this Gara Visokak, my most favorite testing tape from former Yugoslavia, and we're gonna play some music here. Oops, yes, of course, I have to power it up first. Power it up, it's powered up now. What the hell? Oh yeah, okay, it needed to be probably screwed up or screwed in. It's rolling, but I see no playback yet. There is some playback. Also, I decided to pull this mechanism out in order to actually fix this annoying noise issue, and now I think it's whispering. So what I've done, I dripped a little tiny amount of oils in each of those little holes over here. Okay, and this kind of dampened the squealing operation of this mechanism. It's yeah, I think it was really dramatic difference. So let me assemble it now. So here's some playback going on here. As you see, both view meters are actually operating, and the tape is properly advancing. So I think we have, obviously it's normal tape, filter is off, whatever, and yeah, it's going actually fine so far. So what we have to do next? I have to assemble this thing, put it all in the original location. I think I've scratched it here, didn't I? This is stupid of me if I did. Actually, it's scratched here and here. Weird. All right, then I will assemble it, and I will run some speed calibration test, level calibration test, and if everything is successful, I'll try to do some recording and see where we end up with. So here we have a setup. So this is the Huntec 5102B oscilloscope. This is pretty actually old oscilloscope, but I got it recently inexpensively, and it's much easier to work with because it fits the screen properly. Over here we have a Sony DAC, and I connected it with this line in sorry, line out cable which goes to channel 1, channel 2. So left and right goes into separate channels, and we can use our calibration test, which has two speeds for 40 Hz and 3150 Hz. So this is gonna tell us our speed. So right now it's gonna be measured in channel 2, and we have a frequency measure, and as much as I can tell, unless this is indication of WAV and flutter, that this is not stable. Let me try to. Okay, interesting. So they are shifted against each other, and the level is different, which is you can see over here. So this level and this level is different. So one channel is a bit off. So we still have to figure this out, but that's gonna be separate tune up. But so far, it's different bias. But so bias equalization. But so far, speed is actually pretty good, as you see over here on the screen. It's like 3150. It's obviously around that range. This kind of wobble I don't like, because I don't know, this is an indication of, for example, a WAV and flutter, or WAV rather. So but so far, yeah, but so far I think the speed is pretty decent for what it is. Okay, let me spin to the beginning of this cassette, and this cassette in the beginning it has 440 hertz tone for 2 minutes on. I don't know why it's this kind of arrangement, but the rest of the cassette is 3150 hertz. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. 444, 446, 440. Yeah, it's. I don't think I have to touch that motor. Yeah. Okay. I think it is as good as it can be. Let's spin it back to the beginning, and I try something else. For something else, it's gonna be our level calibration tape. Okay, so level calibration tape, it's gonna run at 315 Hz at 0 dB. Let's see what that's gonna yield. 300, how many? 300 to 315. Let me, kind of forgot. 315. So this is interesting, because from what I see over here, this one channel is over. This one is actually pretty close. 0 dB over here is this. You see this Dolby, little Dolby sign? This is where it's supposed to be, so it's pretty close. This one is a little bit off. It's actually nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy, I think. Let me put both channels into same. Yeah. So yeah, they only see a distortion, like actually on both of them. I'm just curious if this is because it's recorded like that, or there is some distortions along the way. Yeah, it's not supposed to be distorted like that. As you see, it's slightly distorted. Let me. But so far, that's it. This is pretty good. It's actually, I think I'm actually impressed that out of the box, this cassette shows a really good levels. Obviously, we can tweak it. I will tweak it, but so far, with this Chinesium belt, I think it actually operates very well. Without spending too much time in figuring out how to do actual X-White mode on this scope, I couldn't find it quickly, so I decided to do this. So here is math function over here. So we have channel 1 plus channel 2, because those two signals from channel 1 and channel 2, they go again in the opposite phases. So the sum of both of them, if they are not constantly shifting against each other, should be straight line. As you see over here, it wobbles. It wobbles, and we have those this purple line, which is actually a result of math operation between these two channels, is changing. And so first of all, the fact that it's changing indicates that there is some kind of flutter. Oh yeah, now it's gonna switch to different track. And the fact that interesting, what kind of signal is this? Let me pick up proper level. Yeah, measure. So it's all over the shop actually. It's probably 8,000 kilohertz or 8 kilohertz. Sorry, 8 kilohertz signal. Yeah, okay, so I think so far so good. Alignment is meh, not the best one, but I don't think anyone ever touched the azimuth on this thing, so I think it's gonna be good. I'm gonna try and actually use XY mode and see how that's gonna work, but I already can see that the circle which XY mode was supposed to show with this kind of type of signals in opposite phases gonna be like, it's gonna be changing circle. So essentially it means that there is a woven flutter present in this cassette deck. So, I mean, there is nothing else can I play with it. I can obviously listen music through here. We can actually listen this 8 kilohertz signal right now through my headset, or use this Garavisokak test tape. This is probably the last thing what I'm gonna do, but so far I think this, even with this bunch of Chinesium belts which I used, I think it's still doing okay. And probably I'm gonna leave it at this. Not gonna spend too much time, because believe you or not, I purchased this particular cassette deck for cheap, not because I wanted to restore, but actually because I wanted to part it. I thought it's not gonna be working properly, and I'm gonna just take this tape mechanism, and use in my Sony TC-K5, which actually has this mechanism pretty worn off. But now I'm not gonna sure what I'm gonna do, because this little deck seems to be doing well. And oh, look at this signal. This is 10 kilohertz signal, and how off the alignment is at this signal. Or this is the shitty recording, so either way. So I bought this one on eBay from someone claiming that they have really great pro equipment. So I'm not sure if this worth the money, so keep in mind that, don't buy it. I don't think it's worth the money. Right, so we're gonna stop at this, rewind it, and gonna wrap up. I think, guys, I'm gonna wrap up the restoration attempt of this Sony TC-K5. I think it's gonna be doing well. The only last thing which is I would like to do is actually record some music, and music recording gonna be done as a final demonstration video of the performance of this cassette. So we're gonna record something and gonna play back this recording after, at the end of this video. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being with me along all those 3 episodes. Please watch my other videos related to audio equipment. I hope you like it. If you have any comments, please comment away. I'd like to hear anything from you. If you like my video, please subscribe, share, and ring a bell if you want to know about some new stuff they're gonna come up with. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.